celebrity drama?
Drew Sidora, they're giving us the vibes as if she's dating Portia's ex.
Oh my God.
Check. Music, movies, and viral moments.
Gabrielle Union came out and said that she was doing 50-50 with Dwayne Wade. I have that audio just in case you didn't remember, so let's listen to that.
Check. Exclusives. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I got that over here.
Whatever Loren says, Lord, yo.
The show with all the hot takes, zero filter. Welcome to The Latest with LorenLoRosa. I'm LorenLoRosa, and I'm going to be bringing you guys where pop culture meets personalities. And over here, baby, we are doing all the things. Give me my tens, because we're going to have a good time.
We gotta get the energy up because, man, I was just thinking like, man, okay, we got to get through this one today. Hey, y'all, what's up? It's LorenLoRosa. I am LorenLoRosa. Y'all, I've been traveling. I literally, look at me. I'm in my airport clothes. This is airport hair. All I did was put on some gloss and some lip gloss and some eyeliner. Because this is all I got for the people, y'all. It has been a long weekend in Atlanta for me. I went to the Black Effect Podcast Festival. So, yes, we are bringing the energy up in here as we... You know what I mean? Get into this next episode. I'm really inspired though and motivated. Let me go back. Let me do the intro. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's LorenLoRosa, your homegirl who knows a bit about everything and everybody. This is The Latest with LorenLoRosa, where you guys know we give you your daily breakdown on everything pop culture and all of the conversations that are currently shaking the room. Now, I just got back from the Black Effect Podcast Festival, and baby, let me tell you.
Back on the grind.
When I say just got back, I mean, I'm literally in my airport clothes right now. Like, I landed, I went and picked up my car, and then I came right here to film because it was time to get back to work. I left the podcast festival just so inspired. And y'all know we start off this episode always asking, how are you doing? And I mean, like, really, how are you doing? And I'm actually exhausted from the weekend. And just, I had family there with me in Atlanta. Some of my team flew in. Then you got everybody that you meet at the festival. And then it's like high energy for 2 days because you're mixing, you're mingling. So I'm exhausted, but at the same time, I am so inspired, yo. Like, I don't think people talk enough about being able to build out in business. Like, there's a couple reasons why I'm inspired. Patrick, I'm going to ask you how you feel. I got to get this off.
Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest.
Because that's the only thing waking me up. But, I was at the festival and I did a panel that we're going to talk about here. But when I was backstage for the panel, I was talking to one of the production guys because I was so nervous because I'm like, they're literally Mandy and Weezy from Decisions, formerly Horrible Decisions podcast here on the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartMedia. They introduced me because they were hosting the podcast festival, right? So I'm backstage and they're getting closer and closer to just calling my name. They reading the bio. They doing all of the crowd get hype, all of that. And I'm telling the production guy, like the stage people, and I'm like, hey, I don't have a microphone. Y'all told me that there was going to be no microphone in my seat, just in the panelist seats. And I don't got no microphone. Am I supposed to grab it from them? Like, that exchange is going to be kind of weird because they're going to be actively talking as I come out. So the guy is like, yo, you're in good hands. So I'm like, okay.
You know what it is? I'm so humbled because the lady that's about to come out, I'm so hyped for her. Y'all know a lady by the name of LorenLoRosa?
Then they literally say my name and I'm like, hey, I still don't have a microphone. And I turn around and he's like, I got you. And he grabs it and gives it to me. And he's like, yo, I got you. I know what I'm doing. And he was like, I know what I'm doing, Loren. Then another guy came in and said, yeah, he just came off of working and producing the Super Bowl. And I turned to Charlamagne and was like, you got money. Not he just was working and producing the Super Bowl, and now he's here producing the live Black Effect Podcast Festival. And Charlamagne was like, I don't got money, I got God. And I was like, heard you. But that moment, I was like, yo, and just being there and seeing the build out in the different stages and all the people that come to be entertained, but also the celebrity talent and the podcast talent and all of the production crews. And just, it is a very well-oiled machine. Like, and I don't think people understand how how much goes into putting on events, live events, but just sustaining business to the point where you can have that many different tiers of business and people working for you, and it like go well and it look good and it look elevated and it's current and it's with ease. And he said, I just came off of the Super Bowl. I'm like, yo, this is so fire. All of this came from Charlamagne deciding to chase his dream, get on the radio, get on people's nerves, smell a couple seats.
Well, thank you for coming. And I'm sorry if envy creeped you out, asking you these awkward questions.
I creeped her out, Mr.
This guy.
Miss, I'm gonna smell her chair again when she walks out.
Who was creepier, Charlamagne or Envy?
Oh, come on.
Be honest. That guy.
Yeah, that guy right there. It's the Breakfast Club. It's J-Lo.
Thank you, guys.
J-Lo just left. Never fails.
Come on, y'all. Picture.
I was sniffing the seat. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was in real time like, yo, this is inspiring. Like, all of this, like a whole weekend. I don't mean just like a whole weekend of just like, oh, real quick. I mean, like, you had huge talent there. Tank and Jay Valentine for the R&B Money podcast sat down with Jacquees. Sarah Jakes Roberts for her Woman Involved podcast sat down with Regine's mom, Toya. Regine was there as well too. That's what made me think of Regine. I saw her backstage. Mental wellness conversations. I did a creators panel. There was just so much. Who else? Cam Newton did his Funky Friday podcast and he sat down in conversation with Portia Williams from Real Housewives of Atlanta. There was so much going on, y'all, and just so many. It was like quality everything. I'm like, bro, the budget was budgeting, but you could have big name productions and the budget be budgeting and it still look a mess from the outside. Timing is off, all of that. Things flowed. There was food trucks. The food was good. The bar was popping. Like, man, we got to give it up. We have to, like, I was like, all of this because of a dream. All of this. So I'm feeling inspired. Patrick, how you feeling?
That's amazing. I'm inspired because you inspired right now. That sounds like an amazing time. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeding off your energy. You know, we back at it for this week. So
how was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend?
It was smooth. I can't even recall. Probably just working, shooting.
It's one of those weekends where things were just moving so fast.
One after the other. Yeah, but it's all good. We here with it.
Well, yeah. So podcast festival next year. I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, we out.
I'm for sure taking you with me. I think, first of all, I was there and I was like, dang, I need it. Because my friend Freddie-O, who is like the go-to, he shoots everything celebrity in Atlanta. Every time I come to Atlanta, he always shoots my content. But as I was there, I'm like, yo, it would have been dope to have Freddie-O here, but also have Patrick as well. Because there was a lot of different things that I wish that I'd done within the festival for you guys here on the podcast. And I met mad of y'all, bro. It was, y'all. At one point, we had to my manager, I'm so happy she was there. We're getting to the point now because of how much things are happening and how big things are when they happen that she's going everywhere that I go. But I'm so happy she was there. Somebody had told me I should have got a security guard, and not a security guard because it's people were threatening me and all that, but just kind of like a handler, somebody that could help facilitate, just people as they were coming up. Y'all, it was insane. It probably at one point, because when I got to the festival, I was like, yo, I just want to go out in the festival. I've never been. It's my first year coming. I want to just see what it's like, what the activations are, what the food trucks are, all of that. I'm out there. We walk out. You know what I mean? We just having a good time walking out. People are in real time, noticing me. I'm like, and I'm still getting used to all of that stuff. So I'm just like, oh, hey. And then we started taking pictures. We took a couple pictures. Next thing I know, I look up, my manager's having to orchestrate a line. I sat for 3 hours during the festival. I missed the whole R&B Money podcast. I missed the first panel. I missed majority of the first half of the festival because once I got in the crowd, I was like, I'm not going to tell these people no. And I actually love engaging with people because y'all are listening and watching the show. So y'all are giving me feedback in real time. I talked to one girl just about, she was telling me that she goes and watches the video, but she also listens to the audio because she realized that sometimes it's edited a little different on audio versus video. But she was saying that she loves listening to the audio first and then seeing the video because she can kind of she puts it all together in her own mind. I don't know, just her way of thinking and how she broke it down. I was like, okay, because I always thought my video audience was way different than the audio audience. And then when she explained that to me, I was like, dang, I wonder how many other people are coming from one place to another. So, having those little edits be different so you get one nugget on the audio side exclusively, one nugget on the video side exclusively. It's fire to hear. I met a lot of people, though. Everybody had podcasts. Everybody had great energy. We was in there praying together, laughing together. I was learning about people's shows. It was just fire. Like, it was a really great feeling because when you set out to do things as a creator, as a dreamer, you, like, in your mature state, like once you're a dreamer, you've matured through the whole, I just want to be known. It's like, nah, like I really want to sustain. Like I really want to do things that like my heart is in and my passion is in because I want people to feel it and I wanted to change lives and I wanted to touch people. And it's a podcast mic is a podcast mic or it's just a podcast mic. But after leaving this weekend, I was like, but is it? Like there were so many people there who were like, yo, like I decided to do this because I heard such and such talk about it on this podcast or, just the way that they were reacting to the other shows. And I was just like, man, I am just so grateful to be a part of this and to be just in the mix of the festival. Now, the panel that we did, have you ever been to because I know you have worked with some of the other Black Effect brands. Have you ever been to the festival?
Never.
Okay. It's literally like a family reunion. That's how I felt. It felt like a podcast or like a media person's, not media person, because you could be a podcast or not a media person, but it felt like a creator's family reunion. That's exactly how it felt. Music-wise, energy, love, like all the energy, like all of that stuff. So the title of the panel was Creatives, Creators, and Curators. It was presented by AT&T. And on the panel with me, we had Aaron Howard, A. King, who is a producer. He works with the Black Effect Podcast Network, but he worked with and helped create and the Combat Jack show, which, when you talk about podcasts in a hip hop space and a culture space, like that show, it's like that show gets pointed to so much because it was the first of its kind and it led and drove, like it started a lot of people's podcast careers, seeing what Combat Jack did on that show. Then we had Crystal Renee Hazlett, actress. She also has a podcast as well called Keep It Positive, Sweetie. She's also a producer too. She's done a lot of different things. So we talked a bit about that, like just navigating through different things as you go. Ricardo Handy, who is a TV creator and executive and CEO of Sunwise Media. Shantae Lundy, she is the owner of Black Girl Sunscreen. Black Girl Sunscreen is currently in 20,000 stores, y'all. And this girl started this with her own savings from her corporate job. So it was a conversation for real, just about figuring it all out as a dreamer and really making it work. So I want to play some of the clips.
Now, dreams really do come true. Y'all believe dreams come true? Yeah. Listen, I know, dreams really do come true. Creators on this panel will share with you guys their story of triumph from having an idea that they ultimately brought to life. There's no perfect way of doing anything, but this panel is here to tell y'all all the good things that y'all need to know about how to get it done. Now, for me, being here at the Black Effect Podcast Festival and everything that you guys have been watching in my life over the last 6 months has literally been a dream come true. As a creator, thank you guys. As a creator, you want to get your...
The energy in the room, like you saw how like they started cheering when I said that. The way that people were coming up to me and was just like, yo, I've been locked in with your journey. I discovered you either the first go round or you were guest hosting, or like there were some people that are like, yo, I've been following your YouTube channel for like 8-10 years. I'm so happy for you. I'm like, yo, it's so crazy because I'm literally only doing, I was talking to D1 backstage about this. I had met him there. I'm literally only doing what I know how to do for real. Like I only know how to work hard. I only know how to share my story because at one point it was all I had. Like I literally, all I could do was share the story. I don't know. It really touched me that my journey and what I'm doing touched people. And it kind of it surprised me, but it was more so like, I don't know, like, man, God really just will prepare a table for you in front of everybody. Like, you expect certain things to happen and you plan for certain things to happen, but I had no idea the level at which it was going to happen. And I felt the impact. That's the word I'm looking for, impact. I felt the impact at the Black Effect Podcast Festival and meeting so many of you guys and hearing like your stories and, you know, just your reaction to everything. So yeah, keep playing that clip.
Shout out to the lowriders.
Yeah, shout out to the lowriders as well. I'm still getting used to calling y'all that. So yes, Patrick, shout out to the lowriders as well. Yeah, y'all was men. Y'all, yeah. Let's keep playing the clip.
Creator, you want to get your story out there, you know what I mean? And you want to do good work and you want to build audience. And you also want to make some money. It's hard as a creator. It's a lot of work, but not a lot of return sometimes. So I'm excited to be here because that has been my journey. And I'm excited to talk to these creators who also probably had a lot of the similar things happening in their life that I have had. Now, I'm going to start with Once Upon a Dream to Reality. So, Crystal, you started as a stylist and worked your way into acting and producing. What helped you believe that you could take that leap?
Wow. First, thank you so much. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for allowing us to share space with you. But for me, it was, I knew when I came to Atlanta what I was trying to do. And there was nothing that was going to stop me. I had tunnel vision. And what I had to understand was that sometimes the route would be different than what you expect.
Yes.
We think that it's one way to get to a destination, and for me it was not.
That was such a good like line from her of, you know, when you think things are going to go one way and you have one route for things to go, especially when you figuring it out and you just out there hustling, things take such a different, like, you know what I mean? Like for Crystal, she's been a stylist, she's been a producer, she's been a production assistant. You know, she now has a podcast. She's an actress. Like, she's done a lot of different things, but a lot of it is just like, you know, one thing leads you to the other. And I think as creatives, especially when you're waiting for that first thing to hit so you can just feel some sense of reassurance, it's a little difficult as you're navigating through these different things. Like, y'all, I've been a flight attendant. I've had a corporate marketing, community relations job. I've been a fashion publicist. I've been a VIP hostess at a club. Like, I've done a lot of different jobs. And in those moments, like, you don't always feel like you're going to get there for real. Patrick, what other jobs have you had?
A bunch. So I definitely relate. I can relate.
Like what? Tell us.
A bunch. Like, let's see. I'm different. It's like a lot of freelancing. So
Gotcha.
It's less about just being in one place.
Yeah.
And more about just moving around.
So freelancing in different areas. So what's your focus area as a content creator? Like, what do you love to shoot?
Documentary style stuff. So like the day in life stuff I love doing.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I feel like that's where your strongest too. But what other jobs have you had to take? Like, what other things have you had to shoot where you was like, yo, if I had it my way, I would never do this again. But like, it's what's happening right now, and it's getting my name out there, or it's like, you know what I mean? I need the money right now.
Right. I would say it's more about because I have fun. Anything with video or editing, I love all of it. So if it's something that, it would be something like, I don't know, shooting like, I don't know, like I don't do baby showers, right? Generally, right? Maybe for like close friends and clients, but
because there's no real story.
I don't commercial. I don't put that on commercial. Like, oh, I'll shoot your. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually it's just like a recommendation, maybe, but I don't do those really.
Got you. But I mean, you had to take a couple.
Yeah, exactly.
Every now and then you got to be the baby shower shooter.
Right. That's an example.
Yes. And I think that like, I tell people all the time that the best thing that was ever told to me is that you can be dreaming and not be in your current reality because you're dreaming and you're manifesting, but you got to be able to still take care of your reality. So you got to pay bills. You got to keep your head clear so you'll be able to even think and create. Which means, like, it's hard to think, create, feel the energy and inspiration when you worried about how you going to eat, how you going to pay your bills, you know, those type of things. So you sometimes, you know what I mean? The route to get to where you going is twisting, it's up and down. There was another part in here that I wanted to also touch on too. Hold on, let me see.
So you met somebody that like changed the trajectory of your journey.
Well, as the panelists think I have a ton of stories about me personally connecting, but I think the most important thing to share is most of my epic networking stories are people that were either at my same level or below me that then gave me opportunity that I never expected. As a matter of fact, the woman that I work with right now at the company in Braxton's, who's called Blink 49, I met her in Atlanta 15 years ago, and all the people on the team kind of didn't really respect her because she was new. She was naive, didn't know, but at the end of the time, at the end of the day, what could happen for you when you network that way is you get to, a rising tide rises all boats.
So that was a really good point too that I wanted to that I was like, okay, like I don't know if they even grabbed what he was saying, but I think when you go to festivals like this or you go to conferences or whatever the case may be, like when you're moving throughout your day to day as a creator and you hungry, you just trying to get on, you want things to work out. You're trying to network up. So that means, you feel like you should only be in conversation with people who can do more for you than you can do for them, whether it's financially or, walking you into rooms or things of that nature. But there has been so many times where like people that like were interning after I went through an internship have ended up in positions and called me about jobs. And you know what I mean? Or like, you just never know who people are going to turn out to be. I was raised that way. Like my mom always taught me, like, you never know who a person is going to end up being. So treat the person like a person and not like what they can do or can't do for you. And that is so true. Like my career has literally been almost like made at certain points in certain opportunities I've had because people remembered how I treated them and doubled back and threw things my way. And I think that's something too that like, while you're on your journey, it's just tough to navigate and tough to kind of stay focused when it comes to that because you just want it. Like, especially in the early days, like I remember like, man, I made a list of people and I still do this. I made a list of people that I was like, all right, if I can work with these people, my life is set. My career is set. Now, I don't even really be like, there are people that I want to work with and do certain things with, but more so like, I'm just kind of like flowing, like whoever comes in my life, whether you are doing better than I am on the same level as I am or doing, trying to get to where I am. If you come in and it makes sense and we can work together, we do it. I don't even think about stuff like that anymore. I'm so focused on just like making sure what I can control and what I put out in the world is good and quality and all of that. And I'm doing the work basically and let everything else flow. I don't even think about stuff like networking up and down or like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so grateful that I did, deal with everybody as if anybody, like I never deal with somebody based off of at the time what their posture is. I deal with people based off of how I would want people to deal with me. So that was Ricardo Handy that was talking to you. He is a TV creator and executive and CEO of Sunrise Media. So he makes television. So there was another. So there's a point that A-King made, Aaron Howard made, and it was about, because the question is a bit cut off, but he has this saying that he says where he's like, relationships are currency.
How do you know when to cash in on that currency?
Well, you have to have value too. That's part of the currency. You just can't be asking people to do you a solid. You have to provide some type of value to whatever it is that you're trying to execute. And that takes time because we're all doing things. We're all working on it. I know right now there's like 5 people in this crowd that, reached out to me. I'm probably telling too much, and we're trying to figure out how to do some dope content. But these are 5-10 year relationships. A lot of times what I find is when I talk to people, they get upset, they get frustrated because they might meet somebody, they may not be able to reach out to them, or they reach out to them, they didn't get a call back or follow up, and they get frustrated, like, sometimes you just gotta relax and do the work, continue on your journey, see them again, follow up, and present yourself in a manner that shows value. And I think that it's a two-way street. I didn't have no value. I wanted to be on radio, and I found out after college that I needed to have a network.
Baby, when I tell you this right here, okay, the podcast could have ended right there at that conversation. I mean, it technically kind of did because our time was winding down. But that was such a major point. One of the biggest things that I've learned, because my lifeline are my relationships, are the people I can pick up the phone and call, whether I need to confirm a story, I need to, book talent, I need to find who I need to be calling to confirm the story. So I got to call a friend like, yo, who's the publicist? Who's the manager? Who's the this? Who's the that? you gotta know when it's time to lean in and time to, you know what I mean? Like to just you're not cashing out on that currency. But the biggest thing that he said outside of just knowing when is you gotta be able to add value in these conversations as well. And I was talking to a girl, there was a group of students there, and shout out to y'all if y'all are watching or listening. There was a group of students there from Morehouse, and then there was from another college as well. It was like a whole group. And one of the students, she's a girl that is from New York. She asked me, what did she ask me? Oh, she asked me, what is my advice to a college student right now about like how to get to where I'm at from where, you know, like she was like, you did the whole college thing. You were a marketing major. I'm a marketing major, like, you know, black girl working in, you know, mainstream media and like doing these different things. And you in rooms with people that don't look like you. Like, what have you learned that you would tell us right now that we should be focused on it and working on? I was like, you need to learn the art of staying ready. So you don't got to get ready. Like everything about pop culture entertainment moves so quick. I'm snapping my fingers because as I'm snapping, something else is happening. Another story is breaking. You got to stay ready so you don't get ready. So you don't got to get ready. If you are already up to date on what's happening, why it's happening, who are the parties involved, you can maneuver when that new story drops. But also, when somebody picks up the phone and calls you and says, yo, I need a reporter for a day, or I need someone who's an enthusiast on, I don't know, every outfit that Princess Diana wore the last year of her life, or whatever the case may be, whatever your niche is, whatever your thing is, you gotta be ready to like, boom, what's your elevator pitch? Boom, you're not gonna sing that song in front of somebody tell you, yo, you sing? Yeah, I sing. And be ready to sing. Like you gotta stay ready. And by staying ready, I don't mean just being able to say what you can do. I mean really being able to show what you can do and how you can do it in a way that people are wowed, that they want to bring you back to that table, or that even if they don't bring you back to that table, when you go create your own, they want to pull up a seat and see how they can get involved, see how they can invest money, see how they can expand your business, or just even reach your hand back and take you to that next level, give you that internship, give you that job, whatever the case may be. That is the biggest thing. And what A. King said about, yo, you got to add value. It's a two-way street. It's so real. Like, one of the things I try always to not do is just, number one is, even if it's people I don't talk to every single day, but if I'm calling you enough about a story or whatever, or I'm emailing you a lot, I try and at least, once a month, maybe twice a month, reach out to you and just say thank you. Like, that was one of the things that I learned in the newsroom from when I used to have to, build relationships with law enforcement sources. It's like, people don't just call and be like, yo, you really helped me with that last week. Thank you. It's Friday. How's your Friday? What you doing this weekend? Thank you. We don't got to be friends. We don't got to talk every day after I'm, you know what I mean? This industry and things in adult life, not even just entertainment, are very transactional. So to be a person genuinely, because I don't do this just because it is a transaction. I genuinely am a person that like wants people to feel good about their interaction with me in general. I ain't going to win everybody over. I'm the villain in somebody's stories, and I don't like everybody. So there are times where I don't care if that's the case. But for the majority of my life and for majority of my interactions in life, I want it to be a pleasant interaction for people, even if transactional. I never want, because again, I want people to treat me. I want to treat people how I want them to treat me. So something as small as that, like, even if you can't provide even if you feel like your two-way street is a little shorted, right? You're not where you want to be, so you might feel like, oh, I can't provide much for that other person, and I'm always picking up the phone and calling. A simple thank you goes a long way. But also, too, being ready. So that way, right, if it's a two-way street, if you calling me and you want my name, my likeness, my brand, my time, my energy involved, you got to deliver. Whatever it is you calling about, you got to deliver. And it need to be at 200% because now I'm involved. And I'm only involved because I'm lending my trust and my belief in you to you. Such a big deal. That literally can burn bridges. Like, oh my God. And also too, I just think you got to always think about as well, like, people be busy, y'all. People be busy. So I like to think like with certain people when I'm asking certain favors or, certain things as I'm in the building phase. And, sometimes you need to stamp on certain things to make people, just really feel it. I always think about like, okay, these people this person is busy. So is what I'm calling them about worth them stopping everything that I know they're doing because they're going to stop because of our relationship? Is it worth them stopping? And if it's not, I don't call. And maybe I'll wait a little bit until it is worth it. But yeah, so that was just some of the conversations I wanted to make sure that y'all got a chance to take a listen to. But I also ran into, because Sarah Jakes Roberts was there doing her Woman Involved podcast. All of the Black creatives in LA, or creatives in general in LA, if you have lived there for over a year, you have been to One Church LA, which is a Potter House church. I don't know nobody that has lived in LA that is, wanting to go to church, that is a creative that has not at least walked through the doors of that church one time. So y'all know how attached they are to a lot of creators' journeys that have lived in LA. I know for me, that's the church I was going to. I was watching that church up until I got more into my church in Delaware. So to see them now, because when I was going to One Church, it was like, 2016 through like 2021, 2022. I kind of got to see the building phases of Pastor Teray and First Lady Sarah Jakes Roberts. Like, they were known, and that church was a huge church, but where they are now and their celebrity and like their faith leaders, but their celebrities, it has grown tremendously. And I just be sitting back and watching like, yo, this is crazy because I used to go to their church. And of course, Sarah Jakes Roberts is TD Jakes' daughter. So, there's always been a level of celebrity around her. But like, man, have we gotten to know her more, and has her platform grown, and, everything she's doing, Woman Evolve, and like just all these things. So I fanned out when I seen them. Let's take a listen. I just saw Pastor Teray and Sarah Jakes Roberts. First of all, I used to go to One Church in LA. But like, I don't know. I just like kind of fanned out a little bit. Amen. I guess that's what I'm supposed to say. But yeah, seeing them in person, I was like, oh shoot. Like, it was also like, it was kind of like a full circle moment, because when I was involved in that church, not even involved, I just used to go. I wasn't like an involved member where they would have known me then, but I was in I remember like, man, I was in such a building phase of my life and career at that time. It would be some days where I wouldn't even have money to go to church. I couldn't afford to put gas in my car to go there. We would carpool to church because we were just so broke and just trying to figure it out. Me and my homegirl sleeping on each other's couches and, sharing apartments. And religion and faith, even at that time, it was all we had for real. Like, just figuring it out, going to church, trying to figure it out, and using church on Sunday as a motivation to get through the week, that following week of scraping together money to just like make things shake for real. So to be in that space as a creator, a new resident of LA, to then run into them backstage. I'm at the Black Effect Podcast Festival. I'm about to go on stage to host a panel. All of this big life and these things have happened for me. And I'm also a lot more rooted in my spiritual journey now with God. Y'all, like, it was such a full circle moment. And I actually got a chance to tell them. I got a chance to meet them. And Charlotte was like, he was like, you got to meet her. I was like, no, because people was bombarding Sarah Jakes Roberts. So like, when I say bombarding her, I mean like, I was standing there and I'm like, Charlamagne, it's okay, because it's a lot going on over there. Like, her handler had to like hop in and be like, y'all, she has to make a way. Like, they were trying to just like figure it out in real time, and it was a lot happening. It felt like I almost cried just hugging her, because I'm like, she don't even know how much her and her husband in their church got me to where I'm at right now to be standing in front of her. Because if not, but God, I wouldn't have made it through those years. My first 2 years in LA, man, shout out to my sister Mariah. She's currently on tour with SZA and Kendrick Lamar. She's a dancer and a choreographer. I remember we would literally meet up to sit in the car and just talk and cry, because we were struggling so bad and we couldn't figure out why it had to be so tough. And both were from Delaware, so we got really, really close. But to go through that and then to be back there, it's like, Patrick, I see you shaking your head. You like, I
feel you. That's
crazy. You can identify with the right. Like,
that's crazy.
It's just kind of, it was a very full circle moment. I don't even know how else to put it in words, but to say it like that. And then to see them in all their glory, like they popping. Like, when I say they were being bombarded, I mean, she couldn't walk anywhere at all. So the festival was a great time. My favorite part about the festival was meeting you guys. Like, I'm like being so, honest about the fact of like we took probably 2 to 3 hours to just like touch the people, like hug people, take pictures. I probably met over 300 to 400 of y'all literally within that time. But yeah, so the podcast festival was fire. And talking about TD Jakes and Sarah Jakes, and talking about Sarah Jakes Roberts and Pastor Torrey, TD Jakes actually, as I was coming in to film the podcast, there was video and reports beginning to surface from his online service today that he is stepping down from the church.
But I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd. I cannot afford to let all the work of all the saints living and dead to hold this so tight, so long, that I wither away. So I'm suggesting to you, I'm recommending to you that you receive Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah.
He is no longer going to be, doing all the things that he's doing within the church. He's head pastor. He started the church back in 1996 in Dallas, and now it has over 30,000 members. And he talked a lot about why he chose to step down. And then, because what was the date that TD Jakes had his health scare? Look that up for me real quick. Because what I am noticing now with TD Jakes' generation, my mom's generation, is that there are a lot of older people who are now getting to a point where, they gotta prioritize health and different things. And so they're allowing their kids and their different family members to step in. Now, yes. Okay. So in November 24th, 2024, TD Jakes had this scare on stage while preaching where he like paused and he was shaking and then he went out. And then it was later revealed that he had a massive heart attack. He actually said that since November, his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, and Pastor Torrey Roberts have been leading in the church anyway. We didn't know it, but they've been doing it. And now they're going to fully step in and take over the church. Huge deal. I do think that it's more about his health. I think that is very prevalent. Even in watching the video of him announcing it, you can tell that, although he's been still preaching and doing better, he's older. He's getting up there. And I think it's a good idea for him to step away before he works himself into a place where he's not even able to do the things that he's talking about he wants to do. Now, on tomorrow's episode, we're going to hop back into the topics in the same way that we normally do. This episode was a bit different because I really wanted to bring y'all some content in real time from the podcast festival while it was fresh, while it was here. But we will still take y'all to the streets, to the tweets.
You for the tweets.
We outside.
Every other page I go.
So I really have been like reflecting so much on just a lot of different things since leaving the podcast festival. Y'all probably like, yo, you reflect all the time, sis. You always in your thoughts. I'm one of those people. But I've been thinking a lot since leaving the podcast festival just about what God what am I learning about God and being faithful to God throughout any season and any journey in life right now, like what my life is teaching me right now about God. Because when I tell y'all, my mind was blown seeing all those people who knew me and my story and were inspired. And I'm just like, oh, bro, we here. It's happening. We here. So I tweeted out, what is one thing that your life is currently teaching you about God? So R. Chung responded and said that everything is in all caps, that everything works together according to his purpose. Baby, yes. So Rocky Thunder responded and said, God will never allow me to envision anything I can't achieve. I keep checking off parts of the dream. I keep checking all parts of the dream life seamlessly. Baby, that hits home. That is how I felt leaving that dang festival. Like, God, what are you doing? What is life right now? Lucky420_ said, he gonna meet you where you at every time. So he is learning that God is gonna meet you where you at every single time. All about Jordan_ said, that he is learning right now that God remains consistent. So if I've seen him carry me once, I know he'll do it again. Let me tell y'all how all of these are so on point. I just grabbed these really quick to put in the doc because there were so many replies. They all hit home. This whole episode, all I've been talking to y'all are about like people and like their elevation and their expansion of their lives and their careers and just all of these things. And like one thing that I can say that I learned that I'm taking with me from this episode and from the podcast festival is you can dream, but when you do it, you got to do it with God. Because the way that he sets you up to achieve beyond your wildest dreams, man, oh my God, like I'm exhausted, but I'm so full, like from this festival. So make sure y'all go check out the post content. I'm going to have vlogs on my YouTube channel. I have mini vlogs on my my Instagram and photos. The photos is hitting, baby. I was in all Alexander Wayne the second day. First day we popped out in my sister's Milano di Rouge. Like I was cute or whatever. So make sure y'all go check out all of the content on my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube channel. YouTube is LorenLoRosa TV. Some of you guys are already here. Instagram is LorenLoRosa. Twitter, I'm LorenLoRosa everywhere. Go find me. Go check it out. If you were at the podcast festival and you're listening to this episode right now, tweet me. Talk to me about what you loved about the podcast festival. If we met at the podcast festival, tweet me, Instagram me, all that stuff. Let me know, you know what I mean, how you're feeling post. You know, a lot of y'all have tagged me in the pictures already, but let me know how y'all feeling. Like after our conversation, after the festival, are y'all feeling like I am? I'm energized. I'm recharged. Even though I'm tired, I'm physically exhausted, but I'm spiritually so full. And it's a great place to be. So I'm signing out. Tomorrow we'll be back with a full episode of all things entertainment and entertainment news. I'm LorenLoRosa. I'm the homegirl that knows a bit about everything and everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I tell y'all this all the time because I mean it. You could be anywhere with anybody talking about these things and these topics because at the end of the day, there's always a lot to talk about. But y'all choose to be right here with me every episode, and I appreciate you guys for that. I will see you in my next one.